In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you step by step exactly how to set up an AR experience in a physical location. So let's jump right into it. Step 1, determining your goal. What are you trying to get done and what are you trying to achieve? Then, once you answer that question, set up a success criteria. What makes it successful? Is it the amount of time that people spend on the experience? Is it how many unique users that try it? If you're selling a product, is it okay, how many more conversions, how many more sales are we getting because of the AR experience? Answering these two questions sets up the foundation for what we're going to be talking about throughout the entire video. Once you know the answer to both questions, let's move on to step 2. Is augmented reality even the correct medium to use to achieve your goals? Because AR is great at some things and not so great at other things. If, for example, your business, right, prepared a marketing video, well, I'd argue it is far better for you to simply put it out on YouTube or promote it through ads on social media than putting it in an augmented reality experience. So, generally speaking, when augmented reality is prepared and set up at a physical location, it is more interactive, it is more social, it is more engaging and fun for visitors than it is used for marketing, for example. Now let's move on to step 3. And we're going to be talking about various factors to consider when you're implementing AR in a physical location. Let's start with the first one on the list, hardware. Is your business going to invest in AR VR headset equipment, or are you going to be needing the access to the camera on visitors' phones? And the second part to consider is the layouts. Is there enough space for people to move around safely? Because chances are visitors trying out the experience will be moving their arms around, will be looking around, or even moving around the space that you have set up. So, is there adequate space for them to do so freely without bumping into each other and into things? The next thing to set up is an incentive structure. Why should visitors spend time out of their day to try the experience? Setting up an incentive really removes a lot of the friction when it comes to promoting the experience and getting users to try it. And I'll give you 2 ways that you can set it up. One is super simple, give a discount to your visitors. And number 2, collect their information for a draw so that they can win a prize at the end of it. These 2 incentives work for the most part and will likely work for your situation as well. The next thing to consider is store conditions. Lighting is super important for phone web AR experiences. Poor lighting will literally break the experience because the camera needs light to see and gauge how far everything is from the phone. So avoid poor lighting. If you're outside, avoid the sunlight glare and also avoid very reflective surfaces because that could mess up the AR experience you have prepared. And the last step to consider is scaling. This is more of a situational thing, but just ensure that AR objects in your experience are properly scaled if that is required. This usually takes a little bit of back and forth between the AR team and the in-person team, but again, make sure that this is properly set up so that when you launch it, you don't get any sizing problems. Now that we've covered various factors you need to consider when you're setting up an AR experience in your physical location, let's move on to arguably the most important step that will make or break your AR experience. And that is, how well trained is the on-site team? Are your staff even aware that the AR experience exists? Are they trained to promote it properly to visitors? And are they able to guide them to and through the experience? Are they trained to collect various pieces of information from the visitor so that your business can reach out to them in the future for various marketing and sales purposes? You have to remember that a major part of how successful or unsuccessful your AR campaign is comes down to how well the team is trained. If the team is properly trained, that translates to how well the visitor will overall experience what you have set up for them. Would your visitors get lost, or would they feel like they know exactly what to do? That all comes down to how well your team handles everything. So now that you've got step 4 down, let's move on to step 5, network and Wi-Fi. A strong network is essential for web AR and for experiences on the phone, because slow load time will cause a lot of people to stop wanting to even try the experience because it'll take too long. And also, on that note, keep onboarding simple. Don't bombard the visitor with so many things beforehand, whether it's a quiz, whether it's filling out a form. Get your visitor to the core of the experience right away. Otherwise, you might lose some people along the way because it takes too long. And lastly, let's talk a little bit about privacy. It's very typical for a web AR experience to ask the visitor to get access to their camera. And a lot of people are concerned about this. They don't know whether they can record what the camera sees. This all comes down to how well your team can handle this sort of situation. Is your team able to tell the visitor, hey, the camera doesn't actually record anything it sees, and it won't work once you're off the experience, and every time you get on the experience, it will request camera access again, which, by the way, all this should be standard procedure for every web AR experience. So just a small note on how to handle privacy, and let's move on to step 6. So these are minor but important details, and this is more important for if your business is investing in AR VR headsets. Does your team follow a hygiene protocol? Do they wipe the headset after every use? And is there an adequate enough charging station so that you don't have to delay any visitor from trying it out due to loss of battery? Because AR is very draining to the battery. So again, make sure ensuring all devices are always ready, always good to go, will keep the flow of traffic smooth and flowing. And lastly, let's talk about analytics. I'm sure every business, including yours, wants data. Tracking data is super easy and important. You could track things like time spent on the experience, number of users who try it, the amount of shares, other engagement and conversion metrics. This all depends on, again, this comes down to exactly what you're measuring for success and what your goals are with the AR experience. And that wraps up this video. I hope you were able to take away at least one thing from this step-by-step guide. And if you're looking to create AR experiences for your own business, for your own brand, or for your location, reach out and email me. Let's chat and see exactly how I can help you. I promise, even if we don't move forward together, you will be able to take at least one thing away from our conversation. So with that being said, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video.